this program can have the one preventative missing key that can hopefully stop these large catastrophic wildfires in our area.
The Vasona Fuels Crew started as a directive from our board of directors to take a look at wildfire risks throughout Santa Clara County, but specifically within the Central Fire Protection District. And then we were graciously awarded a grant from the state of California into the West Valley cities, specifically with our partners here in the town of Los Gatos. A lot of that money was allocated to the development and growth and the formation of the Vasona Fuels Crew hand crew. That fuels crew goes out and does mitigation efforts to modify fuel and reduce fuel loading within the community.
We're going back out to Phillips today. We're just going to cover the whole section all at one time. Given the state of all of the forests, the only way to really get ahead of it is through some mechanical material removal.
We're focused on communities that have high and very high fire hazard severity zones. So we'll work with the city planners and town managers. Sometimes they have projects in mind already that they want to do.
And we'll have a program meeting based on those requests and then start to calendar those projects. And then we go out and start doing the work.
This is a relatively new program at this point, so we're doing a lot of first entries in areas that maybe haven't had any maintenance done in 10 plus years, or it's the very first time that they're getting work done on them.
So this area was identified as a strategic protective fuel break. Charcoal Road has a access fire road that runs through the middle. We then took that road and extended 100 feet off each side of the road to thin out the vegetation and the timber in the forest for a little healthier forest and for something that has a better chance of being a fire break in the event of a large incident.
This offers us the ability to use those breaks to either stop fire or control the fire's growth or spread. And so the value of the Vasona Fuels Crew is, a lot of it is preventative. There is a response component as well, where they come in and actually will assist with firefighting efforts and what we call mop-up, or that's controlling the smokes and the hot spots after the main body of the fire has gone through.
So within the planning for the Fuels Crew projects in future years, we're getting the preventative maintenance in there. So we're going to be revisiting a lot of these projects every 3 or 5 years as they regrow, and having a central crew to kind of do the work in various areas. It helps to ensure that that maintenance happens as opposed to just kind of getting pushed off to the side.
Wildfire mitigation efforts on public right-of-way is where the Vasona Crew is primarily focused. We do have a lot of locations where public right-of-way abuts private property.
And then I'm thinking that this is going to be our end state is right about here. That way we stay off of their private property.
The wildfire doesn't recognize those boundaries. It doesn't recognize a public right-of-way versus a private property. So we're really doing a lot of campaign to do outreach to our private property owners that might have wildfire risks on their property using our wildfire specialists and our fire prevention program.
And what we tell them is, if you have property, keep up on your property. Keep any of your weeds mowed down. You may have to do it a couple times a year because they continue to grow. Keep your trees trimmed up so that way it lessens the ability for a ground fire, surface fire, to turn into a crown fire in the trees.
The common misconception that we see is the fact that people believe that it can't happen to them. And that's one of those misnomers that's out there, that wildfire is a risk for all of us living in Santa Clara County. Just because we have the bay here and we have a coastal influence, it doesn't change the fact that wildfire is still a risk in our county. And so we really want to try to educate our constituents that live within the Central Fire Protection District to take action to help mitigate the fuel problem that they might have on their private property. We will do our part to help mitigate the public right-of-way where we can with the Vasona Fuels Crew.